Hello and welcome to Euro Football Daily, where today we're looking at the top 10 attacking trios in football history. Let's kick it off. Number 10, Messi, Suárez and Neymar. Before Neymar's £200 million switch to PSG in 2017, his partnership with Luis Suárez and Leo Messi looked set to break all records. The frontline cost Barcelona over £113 million to assemble, coming together in October 2014 after the Uruguayan served a 4-month ban. It didn't take long for him to repay the Blaugrana. MSN scored 122 goals in their first season, leading the club to the treble for the second time in their history. They remain the only European team to have achieved the feat twice. The next year, the three South Americans became even more deadly, this time hitting 131 goals. That's 8 more than Bayern Munich did as a club, and they picked up 5 trophies, including the league title. In their third and final season together, the superstars were earning a combined £895,000 a week, or £46.5 million a year. However, this time their tally dwindled to a still unbelievable 111. That's more than Harry Kane, Sergio Aguero and Cristiano Ronaldo put together. Now in France, only time will tell whether Neymar's combination with Cavani and Mbappe can match his achievements in Spain. Our money is on no. Number 9. Gren, Nordahl and Liedholm. Nicknamed Grenoli, the Swedish triumvirate of Gunnar Gren, Gunnar Nordahl and Nils Liedholm led their country to Olympic gold in 1938, scoring 12 of Sweden's 22 goals in 4 games. But they would never play at a World Cup together. Gren and Liedholm reached the final in 1958, but by then Nordahl was retired and the other two had a combined age of 73. No wonder they lost 5-2 to Brazil. However, the forwards did play together at Milan, all joining the Rossoneri in 1949 and winning the title in 1951, the club's first Scudetto since 1907. With Gren and Liedholm playing behind Nordahl, the trio scored 127 goals in their first 2 campaigns in Italy, and Nordahl's record of 35 in a season stood until Gonzalo Higuain hit 36 for Napoli 66 years later. Nordahl remains Milan's all-time top scorer, and only Francesco Totti and Silvio Piola can beat his 225 in the top flight. After Gren left for Fiorentina, Nordahl and Liedholm won the title again, and all 3 Swedes are now in Milan's Hall of Fame. 8. Suárez, Sterling and Sturridge. Luis Suárez makes his second appearance, and this time in a team with which he won exactly nothing. However, the Uruguayan's achievements with Barcelona were helped by the presence of Puskás, Xavi and Iniesta, while at Liverpool he carried a second-class squad to the brink of the Premier League title. Suárez's haul of 31 goals and 12 assists is arguably the greatest by a forward in Prem history, with only Thierry Henry contributing to more goals in a single season. Sturridge added 21 and 19-year-old Sterling got another 9, meaning that one of the 3 scored every 56 minutes across Liverpool's league campaign. Somehow, a side with John Flanagan at left-back and Glenn Johnson on the right scored 101 league goals and earned 84 points, only missing out on the title due to a staggering Man City performance. Suárez left for Barca, Sterling went on to City, and Sturridge was transferred to a hospital bed. 7. Boniperti, Charles and Sívori. The so-called trio magico of Juventus, Boniperti, Sívori and Charles spent 4 years together between 1957 and 1961, winning 3 titles and 2 cups. In those 4 campaigns, Juventus averaged 2.4 goals a game, and the Holy Trident scored 202 of the Bianconeri's 323 league goals in that time. Italian Boniperti and Argentinian Sívori were both forwards, while Welshman Charles was more versatile, sometimes featuring as a central striker and other times as a centre-back. It was common at the time for the 3 stars to race forward in attack and, after they had established a lead, for Charles to drop into the back line. Each man was at some point Serie A top scorer, and they received recognition for their exploits in the black and white. Boniperti was inducted into the Italian Hall of Fame, and only Gigi Buffon has spent more minutes playing for Juve. Charles was voted Serie A's greatest foreign player ever in 1997, over Zidane, Maradona and Platini, and Sívori was the first man to win the Ballon d'Or while with the club. 60 years on, Turin has still not seen their equal. 6. Zidane, Ronaldo and Raúl. It's a testament to the brilliance of Real's first Galacticos era that Luis Figo, David Beckham or Fernando Morientes might all have had a place in this 3. And the combination of Zidane, Ronaldo and Raúl, assembled for €123 million, only yielded a single Liga title in their 4 years together, though the Spaniard and the Frenchman also became European champions together. However, the Bernabeu has rarely known better football than it did in those 4 campaigns. With Zidane pulling the strings behind the two forwards, Ronaldo and Raúl scored 39 goals in their first year, and Real hit 4 or more goals in 10 of their 38 league matches. However, the architect of the trio, club president Florentino Perez, proved to be its undoing, with his controversial sale of Claude Makelele after that 2003 title win unbalancing the team and opening the door to Barcelona. By that point, Zidane was 31 and Ronaldo's knees were already deteriorating, insurmountable obstacles even for players of their genius. But Raúl, possibly the least talented of the three, had the most remarkable career in Madrid, eventually leaving in 2010 having won 6 titles, 3 Champions Leagues, and with 741 appearances for the side. That's more than any other footballer. 5. Best, Law and Charlton. Yes, we've slightly cheated with this one as Bobby Charlton was a midfielder, while Law and Best played on the wings. But this trio's goal stats can measure up to anyone, with a combined 665 goals and 1,600 games for Man United. Charlton and Best were academy products, while Law joined from Torino for a British record £115,000. Remarkable for a man who hadn't owned a pair of shoes until he was 12 years old. The Scots set a club record for goals in a season with 46 in 42 games, and together they won 2 titles and the European Cup in 1968. All 3 remain in United's top 5 scorers of all time. In the space of 4 seasons, they all won the Ballon d'Or, with Best the only Northern Irishman and Law the only Scotsman to receive the award. The so-called Holy Trinity met for the last time in 2005, when Law and Charlton visited Best on his deathbed, but they remain united forever in a statue outside the gates of Old Trafford, the place where they became immortal. 4. Cruyff, Swart and Keizer. The Dutch lineup of Swart, Keizer and Cruyff is unusual, as none of the 3 was a conventional striker, originally playing behind the incredibly named Dick van Dijk. All Amsterdam natives, they won 6 titles and 3 consecutive European Cups between 1965 and 1973. Cruyff was the first man to win the Ballon d'Or more than once, ending up with 3, while Swart earned the nickname Mr. Ajax after playing for the club for 17 years and featuring in more than 30 matches in 13 consecutive seasons. Both he and Keizer were one-club men, and all 3 players rank in Ajax's top 10 appearance makers and top 5 goal scorers of all time. Sadly, the world was denied the sight of the triumvirate in the World Cup final, as Swart retired shortly before the 1974 tournament, when the Dutch lost out to West Germany. The eldest of the 3, he is the only one left alive, after Cruyff and Keizer died in 2016 and 2017 respectively. 3. Ronaldo, Rivaldo and Ronaldinho. The second trio of 3 Ballon d'Or winners on our list, Ronaldo, Rivaldo and Ronaldinho, all played for Barcelona and AC Milan, but never at the same time. The Brazilians instead make our list for their exploits with the Seleção, for whom they won a combined 269 caps and scored 130 goals. In 1999, Brazil won the Copa America, and the 3 stars hit 11 goals between them in just 6 games. However, Ronaldinho was only 19, and it would be another 3 years before Gaucho showed what he could do. This time, at the 2002 World Cup, all 3 made the team of the tournament and scored 15 of the 18 goals Brazil managed in their 7 matches, bringing their country a 5th World Cup trophy. As a result, Ronaldo got his move to Real Madrid, Ronaldinho earned a place at Barcelona, and Rivaldo, then 30, left the Camp Nou for Milan, where he finally won the Champions League. 2. Coutinho, Pelé and Pepe. Another all-Brazilian frontline takes second place on our list. Coutinho, not that one, Pepe, not that one, and Pelé, that one, spent 10 years together at Santos in the 1960s and won an incredible 21 trophies in the white shirt, including 6 national titles and 2 Copas Libertadores. Coutinho broke into the team at 15 and scored 370 goals. Pepe got 405 from the wing, and Pelé banked a staggering 643 up top, meaning the trio combined for 1,418 goals in over 1,800 appearances for Santos. They also won 5 World Cups between them, though Coutinho sadly never got his hands on the trophy, getting injured before the 1962 tournament. At the time of writing, Santos have scored 12,394 goals in their entire 105-year history, meaning that these three men are responsible for more than 11% of the total. And while Pelé went on to international fame, Coutinho and Pepe returned to manage the club, with the latter making the Alvinegro Praiano champions again in 1986. 1. Puskás, Gento and Stéfano. At number 1, it had to be the greatest attacking lineup in football history. Hungarian Puskás, Argentinian Stéfano and Spaniard Gento were the original Real Madrid Galacticos, playing together for 6 years between 1958 and 1964 and winning 4 titles and 2 European Cups. When Puskás arrived, he was already 31, but he would hit 242 goals in 8 years with Los Blancos, ending his career with 706 goals in 714 games for club and country. While he played with Gento and Stéfano, the trio racked up 440 goals, including 4 for Puskás and 3 for Stéfano in a 7-3 victory over Eintracht Frankfurt in the 1960 European Cup final. Gento went on to become the most decorated player in Champions League history, playing in 8 finals and winning the tournament 6 times. Stéfano won it 5 times, Puskás 3, and both have been mooted as arguably the greatest footballer of all time. But sadly, Paco Gento is the only one of the 3 still alive. Their achievements, however, will never be forgotten. So those were our top 10 front threes of all time, but who should we have included? Ooh, Bale, Ronaldo, Benzema? Put it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to stay right here on Eurofootball Daily. Check out Stat Wars, of course, Football Mundial and Continental Club. And of course, guys, like and subscribe.